What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Streamly signing of the man, the myth, the legend, ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Conroy.
Thank you. So good to be here.
I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman.
Yes, you are. Kevin, I am going to let you take it away. Go have fun with your fans, and we are going to start off with some, start off with some dialogue, talk to the people, and we'll go into our orders.
Great.
All right.
It's so good to join you today. I feel so lucky to have done this role for now 31 years. Isn't that wild? I started in 91 recording it, and it went on the air in 92. So this is actually the 30th year officially of Batman the Animated Series. But then that evolved into Batman and Robin, and then Batman Beyond, and then the Justice League, and then the Arkham games, and then all the direct-to-video movies. I mean, it's a job that just kept growing and growing over time. I know how lucky I am to have played this role. And one thing I didn't understand when I started doing it was really how the character resonates with the audience. Batman has a special place in people's hearts. It's not like that for Superman or the Flash or Wonder Woman. It is different with Batman. When I go to Comic-Cons, which I love to do, because when you do a voice, you send your performance, you put your heart and soul into it, and you send your performance out into the ether, and you never get to get that feedback from the audience that I'm so used to from stage work. So when I go to Comic-Cons, I discovered that's where I could get that feedback from. And the interaction with the audience and the fans has been extraordinary. The stories that I hear from people about how Batman got them through a dark time in their life, or a difficult childhood, or challenging home life, how much he means to them is really extraordinary. And so I think Batman has a special place in people's hearts. And I think the reason is because of all the superheroes, he's the only one who's actually not a superhero. He has no superpowers. He can't fly. He can't bend metal. He can't see through walls. He's a human being. He's a man. He's like you and me. I mean, he does extraordinary things, but he does them through force of his will and through his physical strength and his passion. And that inspires people, because it means that you don't have to have superpowers to have a positive effect on the world.
That is true.
To give to the world. And that's a wonderful lesson for everybody, that we can all be involved. We can all give what we can of ourselves to leave this world a better place. That's the whole Batman lesson. How do you leave the world a better place? How do you make your life count by leaving the world better than it was before you arrived? That to me is the Batman story. And he means so much to people, because we can all do that in one way or another. Everybody can contribute something. You don't have to be a rocket scientist. You don't have to cure cancer. You can plant a beautiful garden. You can raise a beautiful child. Everyone has something that they can contribute. So that to me is what Batman means to people.
That is awesome.
Thank you.
No, seriously, it's absolutely that's great to hear, of how you embody like Batman. A lot of people, me, like I told you, I have a Batman tattoo, and on top of it, it says it's always darkest before the dawn.
Oh.
And Batman. When people see Batman, they're like, oh, he's brooding, he's dark, he likes beating up on people. But yet again, it's a beacon of hope.
He's a positive character.
Yes.
Everything about him is positive.
He's just emo.
That's why he never kills.
Yes.
In our version.
Yeah, I was like, there are servants.
Yeah. It got a little darker. But in our version, he never killed, because life is so important to him.
It's precious.
There was a wonderful line I loved, which was that everything is impossible until someone does it. That's a great Batman line.
There's so many different and just iconic Batman lines.
Yeah.
So how about this? You tell me which one resonated with you the most, and then we'll start with one VIP.
Okay. It's not who you are underneath. It's what you do that defines you. That line to me means so much. It's not who you are underneath. It's what you do with your life. That's what defines you. And I think everyone can live up to that in one way or another.
Very well said. Very well said. Like literally, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just sitting here and I'm listening to Batman philosophize. I'm just like, yeah, that's a little Alfred
he's
wisdom
an
right
incredible character. I mean, there's a reason he resonates with people because he's in a way so humble. He never grabs the spotlight. He doesn't want to be seen as a hero. He just wants to get the job done.
Yeah.
To help. And I think there's something so noble about that.
There is. And you know what is noble? The first print of Batman.
Here we go.
Yeah, we're ladies and gentlemen, we're starting. So there you go, sir.
I need a silver.
Oh, the silver one. There you go.
So who is this for?
This is for our first VIP, and this is for Tal Sterling Care. That is a very Batman type villain name. Tal Sterling Care.
It really is.
It's like, all right, well, okay. Now we're gonna get a little geeky with this, ladies and gentlemen. How do you pronounce it? Race or Raz?
Ra's al Ghul.
Race, ladies and gentlemen, he knows the proper say. Because everybody's like Raz al Ghul. And I don't remember where the pronunciation of Raz came from, but it was just everybody's like, it's Race. It's always Race. And we gotta get that is something that to each their own, but now you guys know exactly how to say it.
So this is to Tal Sterling Care. There you go.
That looks great. And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to get your own personal prints signed by Kevin, don't forget to go to streamly.com/Kevin and Tara to get your personal autographs. Now, let's go on to the next VIP. Oh. Now, can you tell me, what was your experience voicing the game?
This is from the Arkham games. It's such a cool image.
Talk to us. Like, what was that experience? Because
what's interesting when you do the shows, the animated series or the movies, especially for Warner Brothers and Andrea Romano, who's such a great director.
Shout out to Andrea Romano.
Yeah, they always prefer to have the actors in the room together. So it's a huge recording studio, and you might have 6, 8, 10 actors in there. And when you do a recording like that, you get to feed off the other actor's energy. Acting is as much about reacting as it is about acting. You give what you get. And if you're working with Mark Hamill, who gives you such incredible passion, and he's so generous, it pulls more out of you. You know what I mean? It inspires you so that the reaction is stronger. And that gives him something to work with. And then his reaction builds on that. And when he and I get in a room together, Andrea said sometimes she has to come in and separate us because it's like 12-year-olds who are just out of control. You know what I mean? But she has a talent for bringing in wonderful actors who work well together. She loves bringing in people who have theater background because theater actors tend to collaborate more on stage. So there's that sense of give and take. So that's what the shows are like to record. Occasionally they have to record people separately just because everyone has such difficult work schedules. But when you do the games, like the Arkham games, because of the way the algorithms are built, because of the way the science, the technology of it, they need everyone's takes to be completely clean and separate. So you are alone in a booth doing line after line after line after line after line. And they say, oh, great, that was great. Now, could you do it with a little irony? And they say, oh, great, we love it. We love it. We love it. Now keep the irony and give us a bit of a grinding hate, but with the irony. You're like, how do I get there? And you don't have Mark Hamill feeding you that energy. or Roddy McDowall or Tara Strong. You don't have those wonderful actors. You're alone in there. You're creating the character. You're keeping the character alive. You're creating whatever situation you're in. You're in, Gotham City in Crime Alley or Arkham Asylum. And you are giving them these different takes on each line, and it's all random, out of the blue. So it all comes out of your own imagination. But working in a vacuum like that, it's just so much harder to do. So creating the games is a very arduous process. It's not as much fun as doing the shows. But the results, when you see the game and you hear your involvement in it, and you see your involvement in it, you're so proud of the performance, you know what I mean? That you think, oh yeah, I did it, I pulled it off. But the process is brutal. It's brutal. Arkham Knight, Arkham Asylum, Arkham Knight, the third of the trilogy.
With Jason Todd coming back and being the Arkham Knight,
36,000 lines of dialogue were recorded for that one game.
Wow.
Because depending on how the game is played, there's all those different, rabbit holes you go down.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like half of them were mine. I took 2 years to record that game.
Whoa.
No one knew what was going on. We kept it all under wraps, but it was 2 years. And, you go in for 4 hours at a time and you're alone in that booth and you're just line after line after line after line, acting. And then after 4 hours, they say, great, take an hour for lunch. And then you go back in for 4 more hours. And they do that for a week. And that is a week. And then they let you go away for a few weeks while they're writing more stuff. So when you go in for that week, it is intense because it's just you. And by the end of the week, you can barely talk. I mean, your voice is because you're the Batman sound, fighting. It's brutal, but the process is harder. But the results, you just feel so proud of it.
That is amazing.
So that's a very loaded question you asked. How is it different with the games? Now, who's this to?
This is to Mariano Benavides. It's like, can you draw a little Batman?
Well, I'll try.
If it comes out like a stick figure with ears, then so be it. But that's actually a fascinating thing for the simple reason that when you're on set and you're doing live action, it's completely it's very physical and stuff like that. So when you're saying that you're in the studio for so many hours, like when I'm on set and I've actually done action stuff, it's like they save all the intensive action stuff for last, because that's a lot to do.
Because it'll put a lot of strain on
Exactly. So, but yet again, you're doing it for 2 years. Where's the, I'm going to put that off to last. No, you just have to do the whole session as is and just hope and pray, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. That was pretty awesome. So right next, of course, we're going to go back to another VIP for another Batman the Animated Series sprint. And this goes out to Luis Herrera. And it says, please write the quote, "I'm an equal opportunity crime fighter," next to your signature. Thank you, Mr. Conroy.
Okay.
That's right. Batman, he doesn't care if you're just scum
or super scum.
Oh man, yeah. He takes you out. If you're peddling just, street level drugs, or you're a crime boss that has metahumans crawling around, Batman's going for you. Doesn't care if you are just not recycling, or you are, or you're a multi-universal threat. Batman's coming for you. Just reduce, reuse, and recycle, or he's gonna come after you just like Darkseid.
Whether you break into Fort Knox or don't pick up after your dog, Batman is coming for you.
That would be a great PS. Because walking around, you see people that have they don't curb their dogs, which is the worst. And that would just be great if there was a commercial. All of a sudden, you see someone walking their dogs. They don't walk their dogs. All of a sudden, you see Batman just saying, "Get it now." And you're like, I'm superstitious. I'm a cowardly lad. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Pick that up.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, you heard what he said. He
That'd
said,
be
pick it
funny.
up. That would be hilarious. So the next one we have, this is number 79 right here. And this is actually not made out to anyone. Number 79 is not made out to anyone, but it says, could you please write, but maybe I've been there too.
Sure.
And we definitely have to show the print, because the print, I feel that there's a reason why that quote was written for this print.
Mm.
You don't know. My interpretation of it is because the print is, once he's done signing it, it's a print of Batman and his longtime nemesis, the Joker, of course. And I'm trying to remember which movie is this from.
The Killing Joke.
Of course. Who does not have a copy of The Killing Joke at their house?
There you go.
I do.
It's this one.
And it's, it's like that quote, maybe I've been there too. I feel that it is something that, the Joker would say to Batman, or Batman would say to the Joker. It's like, you know what? Because The Killing Joke was all about that one bad day.
Yeah.
And I could see Batman, he's like, you know what? Maybe I've been there too. Maybe I've been a little psycho, a little nuts, a little crazy. But
Well, that's the whole question at the end. Does he kill the Joker? Has he gone that far? I don't know. I know.
But actually, there's one more VIP order that I just saw that actually just came in. So this one is number 83, and this one is for Zach. And it says, "Forever fan, thank you for making this character a highlight of my childhood. Say anything you want."
Oh, thank you so much, Zach. I appreciate that. So this is Zach with 2 Ks.
2 Ks.
Okay.
Because, it's like he's Zach from like the Zach Attack pack.
It's Super Zach.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, Zach just got super nice.
See?
Is that like doing what's it called, being knighted?
I think so.
I love the yes ending that you're doing. I love it. It's awesome.
Which?
The yes ending. You're just going with whatever I'm
Oh, yeah,
saying.
I know. You got to. It's improvisation.
See, ladies and gentlemen, right there. It's good stuff. All right. And then we are done with Zach, and then we're going to go into our normal orders. So before we go into the normal orders, Kevin, how's your day going?
Crazy. Crazy day. Because I'm in LA right now. But yes, as I think most of you know, I live in New York. I'm based in New York. So I spend most of my time there. And tomorrow is the day I'm heading back to New York. So there's always a lot of preparation that goes on.
You're literally going tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
So it's always a crazy time.
Safe travels, of
Thank
course.
you.
And all right. Now, since you're talking about traveling, what's the
but
reaction?
I'll be in Orlando this weekend.
Oh,
At the Comic-Con.
Which Comic-Con?
Galaxy, I think it is.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, check out his social media
this weekend.
and check him out this weekend. There we go. That's what we love to hear. We love to hear, where people could meet you, because you're literally right on the street.
And it's
right
a big
now,
one.
So
it's a big one.
It's humongous.
It's a huge one. Everybody will be
Go
there.
check it out. Well, I'm not going to be there.
No.
You know what? Now I'm going to be there. All right. You see, because I don't want to be that person that's like missing out. So right now we're going on to our next order. This is for Lauren to sign the BTAS print. And there's no instructions there. Just make it out to Lauren and put whatever.
I am Batman.
I think that would just be great to have as an alarm clock.
That would wake you up.
That would
Get you out of bed.
I think that I actually got like a Batman voice through Waze.
Yeah.
Was that?
Oh, yeah, that was me.
That's awesome.
I was giving directions on ways. I got calls from my cousins, my uncles saying, "You're on my radio. You're telling me my directions."
That was so awesome because I was like, this really sounds like Batman. I was like,
Is that funny?
that was awesome.
That was funny.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want directions, take it from Batman.
Yeah. Turn right.
I love it. All right, our next print is for Ryan. And he says to write, I am vengeance, I am the night, I am Batman.
The famous line.
Now, that famous line, was it something that was written by Bruce Timm and Paul Dini, or is this something that you improvised?
Oh, no. Oh,
that was
no,
written.
that was written.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that is just, wow. You know, every medium from BTAS on has used a variation of that line.
Yeah, it's a great line.
It is. It's just
they don't. You know, Bruce Timm and Eric Rogomsky and Paul Dini, all the original people at the show, they don't encourage improvisation. They want you to make the dialogue your own, so it's rooted. But writers have big egos. They want to, and they should.
Yeah. Don't teach my stuff.
They want to hear what they wrote. They really do. So there's a little around the edges things you can sort of fudge a little bit. But for the most part, they want to hear the line they wrote, and they should.
Yeah.
It's your job as an actor to make it sound organic, you know, to make it not sound like a line. But they're pretty exact, especially Bruce Timm. He likes to hear what he wrote.
All right, that's fair enough. For our next print, this goes on to Austin.
Austin.
Austyn. And it's like, will you please write, I am vengeance, I am the night, I am Batman.
Oh, there we go.
Thank you. Austin, amazing spelling of your name. Much props to your parents.
Yeah. That's unique.
I'm just saying, if you are from Austin, Texas, and you're a Cowboys fan, go Cowboys.
Yeah.
What is are you a football fan?
Yeah, kind of.
No. It's like, well, if it doesn't
like
have
green.
a pitch in it,
I know.
then it's not my type of football.
I know. I like Green Bay.
Green Bay Packers.
They're good too.
But you're a New York guy.
But I'm a New York guy. Oh, well, come on, the Jets.
Yeah, that's true. I'm a Jets supporter, but I'm a Cowboys fan. So
there you go.
It's Cowboys. We're America's team, man.
Come on. I know.
But so that's a pretty cool insight. Batman likes the Green Bay Packers.
Well, they're pretty awesome.
They're
pretty awesome.
So the next one goes out to Uria. That's Uria.
Mm-hmm.
And write the first thing that comes to your mind if you like.
Okay.
All right. Oh, first thing, that is a very dangerous thing because Batman is always brooding. So what is he going to write? We're going to find out.
I am the night.
Oh. During the morning. So if Batman spends all night fighting crime, what do you think is his wake up time?
You know, that's the whole Bat thing. I think he's got to sleep sometime.
Well,
he works all night, so he's got to be sleeping during the day.
Because you don't see Batman in any medium like waking up and going back to Wayne Manor.
No, there's no domestic. No, there's no domestic life for
you
Wayne
don't see
Manor.
him taking off the cowl and the sun is just coming up right there.
Yeah,
so that's pretty interesting.
Well, that's what was so interesting about the Mask of the Phantasm movie. Because suddenly it's such a great movie, but suddenly he got a taste of what a normal life would be, and he liked it, and he falls in love with Andrea Beaumont. But his fate pulls him back. So who's this to?
This is absolutely not addressed to anyone. So sign your signature and be awesome with it.
All right.
There we go. And that's for the next one as well. So I guess the first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay. I'll do the famous line.
There you go. You can never go wrong with a classic.
All right.
In that vein, I would say thank you for being a friend. So, your favorite Batman villain?
Well, the Joker, because there's a special yin and yang kind of relationship between Batman and the Joker. They almost define each other. And also having Mark through the years to work with has been amazing. I mean, Troy Baker is a fabulous actor. He does a great job as Joker. He's a wonderful Joker. But Mark was my original Joker, so it'll always be, close to my heart. So I've just been lucky to have such great actors to work with in that role. But second to that, I would say Michael Ansara as Mr. Freeze. Heartbreaking performance.
He passed away.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
What a performance.
Well, he set the standard for Mr. Freeze going forward.
Yeah.
Because if everybody remembers the Mr. Freeze in the comics, wasn't that interesting? Interesting character, but not as interesting as Btas made him.
Right.
Like you literally.
Oh, the movie Sub-Zero. I mean, or Heart of Ice.
When he cried and he wept a tear for Nora, and just in the voice, Nora, I'm like, and I'm like 7, 8 years old, and I understood what the heartbreak, the loss that he was experiencing, and I'm 7 and 8, so that goes to a testament to the phenomenal work that goes into not only the voice actors but the direction of the voice actors.
And this one is to Alejandro.
And literally, whatever comes to your mind, sir. Oh my gosh! So for the live action BTA, I mean not the live action, but the theatrical BTAS movies, you have Sub-Zero, you have Master Phantasm, and you have
Killing Joke.
Oh, I forgot that one. I was actually talking about the original.
Oh, the original Batman.
Yes,
Btas.
So we're looking at what's the Legends of the Batwoman?
Legends of the Bat.
Is it Legends of the Bat? It's the Batwoman movie, that's for sure. Those were the 3 BTAS movies.
And there was a Harley Quinn movie, but that was after.
That was after, and that was like a continuation because of now. But those 3 original ones, like, what would you say was your favorite like project to work on?
Oh, that's hard because they were all fabulous. I mean, and they all had things that were special about them. Michael Ansara's performance in Sub-Zero was just unbelievable. But the story of Mask of the Phantasm is such a great script, such a great story. It tells the whole backstory of Batman, the whole evolution of the character, and how he then realizes what life is really about. It's not about vengeance. It's about loving someone and connecting with someone. And yet his fate pulls him back. So in terms of an arc and the performance that I got to give, I think Phantasm, is my favorite movie. But Sub-Zero, boy, that's a great movie. And that opening sequence, that first shot, you were looking up under the ice and you're seeing polar bear paws running on the ice. And you can't figure out what you're looking at. And then when you realize what it is, it's so incredible. You're under the Arctic. What a way to introduce an audience to a world. I just think it's incredible. So who's this one to?
This next one is out to JR. I am Batman. I don't know why he's, this is what he got. Okay. I am Batman would be so awesome along with the autograph. I love you, Kevin. So I thought he was saying he's Batman. I'm like, are you?
I know.
But there you go, JR. But yeah, that Master of Phantasm was the first.
That was the first
movie, and
so that's for JR. There you go, JR.
I remember watching that in my elementary school auditorium during lunch hours, and they would always show movies. And the first movie that I actually watched at my school
during lunch hour, they showed movies in your school.
Yeah,
you went to an awesome school.
PS20, Flushing, Queens, baby. Yeah. They showed movies during lunch, and then they would have auditorium time. So like closer to like the end of the day, they would just have that. So it would be lunch, and then they would file us in to the auditorium and just continue. It was pretty cool.
I am in awe
of
this school.
It was pretty cool. Like I really loved my school, and that's why I started chorus when I was like in 3rd grade.
Do you know what we got during lunch
when I was in school?
Back in the day.
I'm a little bit older than you.
Well, not that old. You're like
Well,
5 years older.
Yeah, I went to Catholic schools
Ah,
in the 60s. So this is like
the all-boys schools?
nuns in full habits with clickers, and you could only walk when they were clicking, or you had to stop talking.
And if
Kids
you
would file to class. I mean, it was like a military school.
misbehave to get the ruler.
Oh, my hands were constantly. I would come home with these big red knuckles.
What happened
And,
to you?
Yeah,
Misbehaved.
But our lunch breaks were like, get out your peanut butter and jelly sandwiches or your tuna fish sandwiches and sit in silence. Oh, it was Dickensian. It was Dickensian. And there you are watching movies.
Hey,
Why you kids don't know how good you had it.
while smoking right next to a doctor on a plane. Jeez, those days. So the next one is Hector. I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman. If you could write the quote, that would be greatly appreciated.
I will try, Hector. It's hard on this one because there's not a lot of space, but I'm going to try.
He's good at what he
I'm
does.
good at trying.
There we go. So you know what? This is something that I always ask the talent that I'm working with. What is your guilty pleasure watch on TV? Because everyone has a guilty pleasure. Some people are like, well, I like Bridgerton. Bridgerton is such a great show. And some people are like, I will watch Game of Thrones up to season 5 all day long. So what is your, you know what? I hate that I like this show, but this is my show.
Well, all during lockdown, I was streaming everything. I mean, everything. All the British crime dramas, all the, Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul and Doctor Who. I mean, everybody was streaming everything. And I'm just going, it's hard to find anything on network that I really want to watch. Network has gotten so
stale.
It's all reality TV and kind of stale soap operas. So on network, I always go back to classics like Law and Order.
Oh,
Law and Order.
Which Law and Order? SVU?
The original. The original Law and Order.
Okay.
With Sam Waterston. Chris. What's his name? North.
Yeah, it is Chris North.
Chris North.
Yeah, because he was big in Sex and the City.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, that original cast was incredible. The stories are incredible. And it's shot in New York. So you have all these wonderful actors who are stage actors, who are people I know. And whenever I'm watching it, I think, oh, there's Pippa Peartree, or there's so-and-so, and there's, Boyd Gaines. And I know so many of the actors. And the stories are wonderful. So that's kind of my default show, because there's nothing on network anymore.
Yeah.
It's like a wasteland of just tired reality shows.
And mediocrity.
Sad. Because cable's just taken over.
Oh yeah, streaming services are like the stuff. My guilty pleasure is literally either I'm watching BTAS, I'm watching Battlestar Galactica, or I'm watching Doctor Who.
Yeah, Doctor Who's great.
Doctor Who stuff is
a great show.
Phenomenal.
That's a great show.
We need to get a petition and get Kevin Conroy a Doctor Who.
Awesome
As Batman.
I like the way you think.
Batman. That would be great. But just you coming in just as a regular character on Doctor Who, but doing the Batman voice. Oh my God, that would combine so many fandoms together, and you're just like, or just do a crossover. Why isn't there an animation crossover? People, let's get it done. Doctor Who and Batman. Let's go. He does wibbly wobbly stuff. Batman's in Gotham, wibbly wobbly on Gotham. Let's go. Let's go.
So this is to
Lynette Grayson. Maybe possibly related to a certain Dick Grayson.
I know, Grayson.
To Lynette Grayson, my Robin from your Batman. That actually makes a ton of sense at your school.
To Lynette Grayson.
My Robin
from your Batman.
That is cute. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, you can get your personally signed autographs. Go to streamy.com/Kevin Natera. It is in the description as well. You can go to streamy.com/Kevin Conroy and get your personalized prints so you can have personalizations just like this. Oh, that looks great. That looks great.
To Lynette Grayson, my Robin from your Batman. That's great.
That looks awesome. Right now, next, we have this one is from Christian, and it says, "Could you please add, I am vengeance, I am the night, I am Batman. Thank you so much. Love your work. If you could send a quick shout out during the live stream, that would be awesome."
Christian, this is for you. I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman.
That's what I'll write on your thing.
And bam, ladies and gentlemen, shout out. You see, you have to understand, he is channeling the DC multiverse. So he's channeling all the Batman from the multiverse for that shout out, Christian. Multiverse explosion. Well, that is so cool. And I remember we were just talking about the press on Infinite Earth thing. I was just thinking about that.
Yeah.
The good
I
stuff.
felt so lucky to be able to do that.
I think everybody felt lucky that you were able to do
I
that.
loved it.
I do.
And working with Ruby was great. She was really wonderful. Very generous actress to work with.
Nice.
So
Very
this
good.
is to Darren?
To Darren. Could you please write, "I am vengeance, I am the night, I am Batman. Thank you."
Yes, Darren, I will.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is some of the fantastic stuff that you can get here, part of Streamly. So don't forget, go to streamly.com/Kevin and Tara or streamly.com/Kevin Conroy to get some amazing signed prints just for you guys by Batman himself.
Here you go. Now, for those of you who are following this on my Instagram account, I have to explain why I have been so absent. I heard a couple of years ago that someone had claimed the real estate of Real Kevin Conroy on Instagram, and it's a fake account. And so I thought, oh, I better get there and establish my account. So I did Real Kevin Conroy 6, which is the one that you're watching. But then I have such a huge following on Twitter. I do a lot of work with Cameo, and then I have my work on the shows at the studio. It's just a lot of time. So I discovered that I never kept up on my Twitter feed and following. But I promise you now, I'm going to change that. Let's make a promise today that this is the start of my more active involvement with Instagram. I promise. Real Kevin Conroy 6 will be a much more active account.
Love
That's
it.
That's my resolution for today.
Ladies and gentlemen, right here, Kevin is going to be more interactive. So
On Instagram.
Instagram.
I will be.
You know what? He could be more interactive with all of you if you go to streamly.com/Kevin and Tara or streamly.com/Kevin Conroy, because we actually got a brand new VIP order that we're going to do right after this one. So, ladies and gentlemen, the orders are coming in right as we are signing. So get it in. This one is for Christopher. No instructions, just Christopher.
Okay, to Christopher. There we go.
There you go, Christopher.
I am Batman.
Oh my God. And you have everybody on your Instagram right now just sending the waves. Instagram, don't forget, send those waves, send those hearts.
Thank you, Instagram.
Okay, we have, let's get Christopher out here. We have, this one is for Martin. Not from BTAS, but is it possible to put hell?
You're one hell of a messenger. Thank you.
From the Flashpoint Paradox, which is one of my favorite DCAU movies. But it was one of the rare times he's shown his emotions to someone else. Thank you, Mr. Conroy.
You're one hell of a messenger. Thank you. Sure. To Martin.
Yes. I know the scene that he's referring to. This is the scene at the end of the Flashpoint Paradox, where it, if you guys watch the anime movies, it actually shifted to the new DC, the new 52. And at the end of the movie, the Flash actually brought a letter back from Thomas Wayne, Bruce Wayne's father, in the end of the movie, and he just gave it to him, and he was just like, "You're one hell of a messenger. Thank you."
Oh.
And you saw Batman literally start tearing up because he knew this was a letter from his father. Even though it's an alternate universe letter and alternate universe father, it's still his father.
Yeah.
And, you know,
There you
it
go.
hit the, you know, the heart and stuff. So next one, we are going to John. And it has those instructions, so go for it, John.
Great. To John, I am Batman.
Awesome. Okay. Next one is for Tristan, and it says, "Please write."
Oh, I am the goddamn Batman. I love that line. I love that line.
It's great. It's great.
It's like, don't you know who I am? I'm the goddamn Batman.
Like, seriously. Now, out of your Bat family, who would you say is your favorite?
Out of the Bat family.
Yes. So we're talking about everybody. We're talking about Alfred. We're talking about Lucius Fox. We're talking about Batwoman, Batgirl. We're talking about all 7 Robins. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, there's 7 Robins in continuity. We're not going to go through all of them today. We're talking, you know, Batwing, Batmite. Yeah, we'll go obscure for you.
You know, Batman has a really special relationship with all of the people who work with him, especially Robin, who is like a son, really. He's the surrogate son. But there's an unusual relationship with Alfred as the substitute father, and I think that is really a unique relationship, and there's a closeness there. I think Alfred gets closer to Bruce Wayne and Batman than anyone else does. So I would say it was with Alfred. And having Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. to play that role was so amazing. He was such a gentle, kind, unegotistical person. He was a humble person. He was just he felt lucky to be working. He felt lucky to have had a career. He was very appreciative of everything that came into his life. He was just such a positive person. And I knew his daughter, Stephanie, at Juilliard. We were there at the same time. So, but I had never met him. And he became very paternal towards me as we worked on the show. It was really wonderful. So I had a special relationship with Ephraim. He was a really sweet man. So I think Alfred would be the answer.
Alfred, I love that. All right, so this one is to Kenneth. And
I grew up watching the animated series. Thank you for your continued superb performance throughout the years. Oh, Kenneth, thank you. Batman isn't Batman if it isn't voiced by you.
I agree.
If you can please write the classic I Am Vengeance. Absolutely. To Kenneth.
Job, Kenneth.
I am vengeance.
I'm like reading some of the questions in the chat. Hold on. So this one's from Sam. Hey Kevin, I'm sure this question you get asked a lot, but I'm curious, what is the number one Batman's favorite Batman is? What
is the number one what?
What is the number one Batman's favorite Batman is? I'm not. I guess besides you, what is your like favorite Batman? Is that the question?
Oh, of the live action Batman, maybe?
Yes, I get asked
that a lot.
Yeah, I think that's the question.
I hate to single out actors because I always get in trouble when I do. Because no matter what you say, they focus on the negative thing you said, and then that goes viral and that gets repeated forever. All the actors who've done Batman have been great. They really have. I think I'm a real Michael Keaton fan. And I think the original Batman that he did was fantastic. And I just assumed he'd get the whole franchise. Yeah. They build it around him. But then Warner Brothers did an interesting thing. They decided to expand the casting and bring in different actors each time they did it. which seemed crazy to me at first because usually you build a franchise around a certain actor, like Sean Connery as 007, that kind of thing. But then they brought in different actors, and each one brought a different quality to the character. And some people were better as Batman. Some people were better as Bruce Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
Some people were good at both, were really good at both. But I thought everyone brought something to it. I think George Clooney was fantastic as both. Ben Affleck did a great job. They've all done a good job. Robert Pattinson, I think, surprised everybody because no one thought he would have the gravitas to do Batman, and he was fantastic. So it's really impossible for me to pick. I think it's unfair sometimes to rate actors that way because everyone's different, and certain people are going to appeal to certain other people. So it's really hard for me to pick. I can't
say all of them.
All of them.
All of them.
I think they've all been great.
There you go. It's all of them. He's not trying to get anybody, like throw anybody under the bus. People, stop that. So, all right. So let's go into our next signature. This is it doesn't have anybody to make it out, and just write character name, please.
Okay.
There you go. Just write Batman. Perfect. I have another question from Andre Paul. It says, I grew up with the Justice League animated series. So my question is to you, Kevin, is how is playing with the cast members compared to being with the cast members of BTAS?
How is playing with the cast members?
Yeah, so basically, the cast members of BTAS compared to the Justice League. Like, what were they?
The different cast compared to the Justice League. The biggest difference for me was the fact that in Btas, there was Batman and there were the villains. And the villains were a lot of the catalyst of the show. You have those amazing villains. The Riddler, the Joker, the Mad Hatter, Catwoman, Poison Ivy, Mr. Freeze. Those are the great characters of Btas. And then Batman is like the dark, throbbing heart underneath that show. Yeah. And I got to do an arc in every show. So when I went into Justice League, I was one of 7 heroes. So of course your arc would be very whittled down because you're sharing screen time with 6 other protagonists, heroic actors. It's still very much centered on the villains, the way Btas was. But when you're dealing with the hero side of the story, you're sharing stage with 600 other people. So I had much less to do, which made each line I got that much more important. Mm-hmm. And the challenge was not to overact, not to think, okay, this is my moment, grab it and, do everything I can with it, because then you kill it. So Batman became more in Justice League, Batman became more of an outsider and a loner, because he was the only one of the characters who had no superpowers. He was the only human. And all he had were his wits and his ability to invent these incredible tools, but he had no superpowers. So it's all about his brooding internal dialogue, the character in Justice League for me, which was fun to play, but I just didn't have as much to do. So I think I preferred the format for Btas just because I had more to do. I loved working with the actors on Justice League. They're wonderful. But I just didn't have as much to do. So does that answer that?
I think that answers that. Fantastic. Next one is out for Patrick. And special instructions, I am Batman. That's
to Patrick.
So question in here. I think it was by Andre Paul. Actually, no, it was by Tyrus Plus. what was your favorite BTAS episode? Because theirs was Perchance to Dream.
Oh, well, I think you know that is my favorite episode. Perchance to Dream is a great episode. It's great.
Can you tell us
I
about
got to
that
play Batman and Bruce Wayne. And then Batman gets drugged by the Mad Hatter. And he goes back into his youth.
Psyche.
And he goes back to his youth. And he lives these dreams. He relives the drama with his father. So I was Batman Bruce Wayne. Then I was drugged Batman. Then I was adolescent Batman, Bruce Wayne. And then I was the voice of Thomas Wayne, the father. So all 5 voices had to be distinct, but believably related. So it was very subtle shading of the voice, but keeping each voice in each lane was a real challenge. And I love the story. It's a great story. Any of the stories in Btas where Bruce Wayne is struggling with his identity, struggling with the drama in himself. I love those stories. Dreamscape is another one. And there were a number of stories like that because that's the drama of the man. And that's what I meant when I said there was just so much more for me to do on Btas than in Justice League. I got to go into these personal, dramatic, conflicted stories on that show that I just never got to do on Justice League because I was one of 7. So of course, Perchance to Dream is one of my favorites. I love it.
Nice.
But I think you knew that.
So the next one is for Harris. No instructions, just song.
There you go. This is an Arkham one.
Yeah. And I definitely know one of your favorite moments in Justice League Unlimited was when you got to sing Am I Blue?
Oh.
That episode
was fun.
It was fun, one, because
this little piggy.
Yes,
that
it was completely out of like the norm. Because
oh God, yeah.
They introduced, I think this was when they introduced Zatanna for the first time.
Yes.
Yes. So they introduced Zatanna, and then we see Mordred, and we see Morgan Le Fay, and all these people, and then Wonder Woman gets turned into a pig. And I'm just like, what?
I know. Where are we going? I know. It's crazy.
And literally, you had to I think it was Morgan that just puts you in like the hot seat. It's like, all right, do you want me to stop this? You're going to need to do something for me. And then all of a sudden, you just see the camera turn around and you just see the pan of Batman with a microphone in his hand. I'm like, where is this going? And then you start singing. And I'm like, oh, he's a crooner. Oh.
Am I blue?
Oh, snap.
Am I blue? Ain't these tears in my eyes telling you there was a time I was her only one. Now I'm the sad and lonely one. Lonely.
That was, ladies and gentlemen, this is why he got the job. Because Batman needed a sexy voice. You can't get more sexier than that.
And that was without warming up. That was a cold singing.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
Great voice. Next one is for Sean. Thank you for making my childhood epic, Kevin. Sean, I think that's everyone we have to say Sean. That for. Seriously.
I am Batman.
Good gosh. That is just, so good. Because
they wanted Batman to sing because it would be so crazy. People would freak out. And Andrea knew that I sang. She said, well, Kevin can do that. And then they were thinking, well, he can't sing in the Batman voice. But what song can he sing? What song would Batman sing? So they came up with Am I Blue? I thought that was so perfect. That was so perfect.
I thought that was actually a song that you actually just enjoyed. So they're like, we'll have you sing that.
No.
So it
was their idea.
Okay.
This is to Anthony.
Anthony and no instruction. I like one of my episodes that of BTAS. Well, it's not actually BTAS. It was the New Adventures of Batman and Robin. It was I forgot the name of the episode, but when it was you were fighting Clayface, and Clayface had that Annie, that little offspring, and then he just absorbed him.
That was
back.
creepy. That was creepy.
And just hearing Tim Drake is like, "You're gonna charge him with murder, aren't you?" And I was just like, "Whoa, that he did kill that little girl, even though it was part of Clayface. It was just kind of like
that was creepy.
Yeah, it hit home like, whoa, like Clayface just because this Annie was just a sentient thing, and now just absorbed it. I was like, dude, you guys are going dark.
Yeah, I know.
So actually, with that, how did you feel with the change in pace between BTAS and the New Adventures of Batman and Robin? Because it did get, well, besides the stylings, the art stylings, it did get a little bit darker.
Oh, we got darker. And that was the note that we got, was to make it darker. And actually, the distinction between Batman and Bruce Wayne, the vocal distinction, was much more pronounced early on in Batman the Animated Series. And then they had me tone it down because early on, Bruce Wayne was really like a playboy. And he was a lot of sarcasm, a lot of humor, a lot of lightness to that voice, which I liked because I thought it made a bigger distinction between Batman and Bruce Wayne. But they decided that they wanted the show to go in a much darker direction. The color palette got darker, the stories got darker, and they felt that that lighter Bruce Wayne voice was just too jarring. So they had me tone it down. So as the show progressed and we got into Batman and Robin, there became a very slight distinction between Batman and Bruce Wayne. They still liked the fact that they were distinct, but they were much less distinct.
Kind of just bleeding into each other.
Yeah, so you could believably be the same person. As an actor, I like the challenge of doing the two separate voices, but from what they were doing, the darkness that they were going for, I understood what they meant. That the Bruce Wayne I had established was just too light, too colorful, but I had done that intentionally. So they had me darken him and make the voice heavier. So that was a very intentional thing the producers wanted.
That's interesting. That's fascinating because it is set 3 years after. So you saying that the voices are not that much distinct, I could see after years of that, Bruce Wayne just starts becoming I am Batman. So instead of just being the Bruce Wayne voice, it's just more Batman.
Yeah. My feeling always was that Bruce Wayne was the performance and that Batman was who, by nature, Bruce Wayne is. That's what happened to him after watching his parents die. He went into that place. And Bruce Wayne became the public face for the world, the charming, the playboy, the debonair. And when he's alone with Alfred, he's the Batman voice, So to the point where in Crisis on Infinite Earth, where I'm playing old Bruce Wayne, I decided that was Batman alone, crushed at the end of his life, embittered. So I used a lot of the Batman voice in that. Because that, I think, is his natural state. The performance was Bruce Wayne. So this one is for Justin?
Yes.
Is that what we're up to now?
Yep, up to Justin, and there's no signature. All right. Okay, looks like we have about this Justin and no instructions. Looks like we have about 11 prints left. We'll be, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we'll be done in the next 5 minutes or so. So if you want, don't forget, please go on to streamy.com/Kevin and Tara, or go to streamy.com/Kevin Conroy and get your prints before we are done for the day. The next person is Jimmy.
You are my hero, sir. You helped make my childhood better every week. Thank you so much, Jimmy. I appreciate that. Thank you, and write whatever you like. You are the knight. Oh, Jimmy, you're the best. Thank you.
Love it. And this is within the comments for the SS Ultimate Goku. The New Adventures of Batman and Robin basically was wrecked into the new season. Robin was basically reckoned into Robin's Reckoning. Basically, was the episode that they liked, and I absolutely agree.
Yeah, that's a great show.
Robin's Reckoning basically it's Dick Grayson saying, "You know what? I'm tired of your stuff. Batman, get out my face. And I'm a big boy now," and that's literally what happened in the episode. And it was really cool because Dick Grayson got to tell you off for one.
Yes, he did.
This is for Nicholas. This next one's for Nicholas. There's no instructions, but he's got it. So there's multiple Robins, right?
Yeah.
Carrie Kelly, which is off universe. Then you got Jason Todd, which is my favorite. Dick Grayson, which is the OG. Tim Drake. And I know I'm missing one. in the comics. But who I'm missing one or two. But who would you say is your favorite Robin?
I think I developed a very strong acting relationship with Lauren Lester, who played Robin in the original Batman the Animated Series, and he went on to become Nightwing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there was a special kind of bond there with Lauren.
Yeah.
So I always I liked that version of Batman, and then to see him become Nightwing was wonderful.
Give me 1 second. All right, and you're going on to the next.
This is to Victor.
Yes. Why did that stop? Right?
See, I told you that might happen.
That is a strange one right there.
I don't know why that happened.
That is.
Excuse me, I have to fix something.
That is so strange.
I don't know why that happens. Live stream ended.
Yeah, because it's been over an hour. That's why. All right, let's share that. Okay.
So this is to Victor, and you want a little bat symbol. Okay. To Victor, I am Batman.
Okay, let's get you back live on here. And we're back on the IG. All right, it's because we went an hour.
Less than an hour?
Yeah, so it just. Oh, that is an awesome
You
drawing.
wanted a
Love
little
that.
Batman.
That is awesome. That is awesome. There you go. That's for you, Victor. The next one may not say anyone, but is I am vengeance. I am the night.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have 8 more. So once again, if you want your specific print, go to streamly.com/Kevin Nazara or streamly.com/Kevin Conroy. All right. The next one is for Fernando.
Fernando's Hideaway.
No special instructions, but we got you, Fernando. And ladies and gentlemen, back on the Twitter machine, well, the Instagram, we're back. Sorry for that.
I'm sorry we had a little lapse there.
Oh, that is totally fine because, like Kevin said, he will be more active on Instagram, and you guys will be loving it. So, and what's your Instagram handle again?
Real Kevin Conroy 6.
Oh, so it's Real Kevin Conroy 6. You heard it right here, ladies and gentlemen. All right, that one's for Fernando. This one is for Tyler, and the instruction is justice never sleeps. Oh, we've got more now. We've got more.
Tyler.
All right.
Justice never sleeps.
Okay. All right.
Here you go, Tyler.
This one is for Brad Rose with no instruction.
To Brad Rose. I am Batman.
go. All right. This one. Okay, that's Brad Roast. All right. This one is for Vincent.
No, we did Vincent, didn't we?
No. That's for Brad Roast. All right. So that's Vincent. And then we have 5. That's Alex. All right, there we go. So we're doing number 85 right here. This is for Alex. I am Vengeance. I am the Night. I am Batman. You guys got him so excited. He has the hiccups now. You guys are insane. We love you guys. 35, so this is 86. Number 87 right here. Number 88. All right, thank you. So that is for Alex. This is number 86. This is for Cheyenne.
Beautiful name, Cheyenne.
All right. All right. Okay, and that's for Cheyenne, number 86. All right, number 87 right here is for Donna, no instructions. Donna right there. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the last 2 minutes of the stream. We're going to be closing down the stream in 2 minutes. So your last minute orders right now, put them in streamy.com/Kevin and Tara or streamy.com/Kevin Conroy.
To Donna. There you go.
Oh, Donna. Thank you for that. Number 88, which is for Cesar Garcia.
Cesar. I am Batman.
And then we're going to have one last VIP order, which is for Frank.
I am Vengeance.
Okay, to Frank.
Ooh, let's not have this one. No, in here. All right, there we go. And ladies and gentlemen, with the last strokes of the marker,
There you go.
we are done.
We're done.
Gentlemen. So I just want to say thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for visiting us here on Kevin Conroy's Instagram and here on the Streamy YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch pages. And thank you for the man, the myth, and the legend, Kevin Conroy, for being here. Don't forget, his store is going to be open. So please go to streamy.com/Kevin and Tara and go to streamy.com/Kevin Conroy. Any last messages?
I just appreciate so much all the attention that you give to the shows. And I really do appreciate the audience, because without you guys, none of us would have jobs. So thank you for appreciating the work we do. And good luck.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We are out. Have a fantastic day.